Hey guys, it's Matthew with Tactical Unboxing Reviews. We're going to look at some more cool stuff today. If you like the videos, please like and subscribe down below. Check out some of the other videos that we have on the channel. I appreciate you tuning in for this. So today we're going to check out some really cool, really high value aluminum folding stocks. So we're getting these from 6mm.com and they're shipped out of China and they're meant for airsoft. So if you go on the website, you're going to find a bunch of airsoft stuff. But I think when we take a look at this, we'll see that these are pretty cool, pretty high quality, and definitely a great value option to throw on a Picatinny upper. And so they're made out of aluminum, and they come well packaged. So this came in bubble wrap. This came in bubble wrap too. I pulled them out of the bubble wrap. And this kind of two options here. So the first option that we have has the folding mechanism, and then it has this skeletonized buffer tubes. And it's just got some tape on there. Kind of feels great to the touch. It feels just like any other anodized aluminum piece of hardware, but they come in at a great price. So instead of being a couple $100 for a lot of the different stock options out there on the market, many of them are right around $300. This, I believe, was about $70. I'll link to these down in the description below, so go check that out. So it comes with the mounting hardware. Basically, there's two threaded holes here. That's where these screws go in. And then here is the mechanism. This is steel, I'm pretty sure. And that spring in there feels good. The lockup is definitely solid. Yeah, this feels awesome. Yeah, so this is a buffer tube. So it's got the holes in the bottom here that interact with the stock or the brace that you put on here. And so if you're going to fold it off to the left-hand side of your gun, you'll want to mount it one way. If you're going to flip the folding mechanism over to fold it off to the other side of your gun, then you want to flip this over as well. Before we get that installed or anything, let's take a look at what we got in this box. So this is a full aluminum stock. So this is pretty similar to what you might find on like the SIG Spear LT. I think they actually have one that's even more similar to the Spear on their website. It has two little threaded holes on the top here for a cheek riser, which they also have on their website. So this comes with the stock and the mounting hardware as well. So see what we got here. There's only one screw for the mounting, and they still include both screws along with the folding hardware, which is nice. So see how easy that is right there? Basically, you just drive the screw down through that hole into the stock. It has a nice tight lockup. So you can see those two surfaces there, how they're chamfered to interact with each other so that it'll lock in the open and closed position. So let's see how it locks up. So that's not going to pop open on its own once it's locked up. Oh, it also locks up there too. So that is a pretty robust locking mechanism. And we'll actually look at a SIG folding brace here in just a second. And so here's a closer look at this skeletonized buffer tube type setup here. So this is all aluminum. It's got the threaded holes there. For this one, I believe it will also just run it off to the left-hand side of the gun. So I have it in the open position, thinking this will be on the base of my gun. My gun will be pointed this direction. So that means that I want the rounded side up and these holes going down. That's the holes that the adjustments for the adjustable stock connect into. So it's pretty easy. Line those holes up, and then just torque them down. Now they're in. So that's a nice tight lockup. So you can see how the shape of the tube, the shape of the stock as it attaches to the folding mechanism, that lines up really well. It's got this little raised screw in here to help lock it in the vertical and these nice teeth to bite into the pick rail. Let's take a look at these in comparison to a SIG folding brace. So here I've got my BRN 180 Gen 2 upper, and this has an actual SIG that I bought from Optics Planet. These are very similar looking setups here. This one, you pull up, it locks in there. It's got a little bit more of the hardware that kind of is on the downward side of your rifle. There we go. These are both popped open. So actually, it's pretty interesting. There's quite a bit more hardware here on this part of the folding mechanism. They kind of trade a lot of the mass from this bottom section where that's where the biting, where the lockup is. So they put the lock at the bottom. On the other one, the lock's at the top. So this is the direction that they both open up. So they're definitely pretty different design, accomplish basically the exact same deal. Here's one giant screw holding that on. We got the two screws here. I guess I could bite on the other side. This is my first time installing this on here, so but that's definitely made it super easy to get on. And that screw is what's going to lock it in vertically. It sits off a little bit because it's so thin. The other brace, or the other stock, rather, is quite a bit thicker. And that, as you can see here, it's thicker. And so when it was folded over, it was a little bit closer to the side of the receiver. It's a pretty solid lockup, maybe a minor bit of wiggle. You kind of see that a little bit, and so like I was saying, it's really easy to actuate. It's not locked in the open position, but it's also not easily going to unlock. And that's because of that angled or chamfered edge right there. So when it's in the open, or the open position, it's locked. When you pull up and you bring it over, that chamfer is defeating it from just flopping open, but it still allows you to just grab it and deploy. Yeah, they're really lightweight, all aluminum, and I believe these are QD points here. There, it looks like there as well. Here we go. So we got this blue force gear sling with some QDs on there. Yep, so those just lock right in. You got to be a little bit careful with aluminum and QDs. Eventually those will wear out, but this stock is so reasonably priced, you could replace the whole stock when it comes time. Nothing to be too concerned about. But that's pretty nice that you have both those two QD points there. Pretty sure that they work from both sides. Let's check. Yep. They're non-rotational QD points. So you pick how you want the orientation of your strap to be. So that's really nice. This one too has QD points. So we'll check that real quick. Yep. Non-rotational QD as well. So you pick the orientation you want of your swivel. Skeletonized buffer tube. Same steel lockup hardware. SBA3 brace. Gonna get that on. We're just gonna pull on this pin here to basically clear that section, and then it'll be right inside the channel. Start shoving it down until you hit that pin. Pull the pin out, clear the pin, and then now you can lock it into your different adjustment lengths. Loosen that up a bit. Line up the one side first. It's got this little extension that goes into this channel right here. And then just line that up into the channel until it drops in there. So now that's locked in. And now we just set the vertical height that we want it to be at. We'll just tighten that down. Looking pretty sweet. That folds around to the side. So you can see that The SPA3 brace is quite a bit thicker than skeletonized rail, so quite a bit thicker than that other stock. Really nice. And this is the same where it doesn't easily fall to the side, but you can pull it to the side. It won't just fall to the side just by holding it up. But if I shake it, and then obviously when it's locked open, that is a nice tight lockup. So, yeah. Well, I am pretty impressed with these stocks. I think that this is really versatile, gives you a lot of nice options, and it's such a low cost. It's great to get into and not have to worry about too expensive, put a bunch of money into it, and then you want a different stock down the road, or you want to change something out. Especially with this skeletonized buffer tube, you've got a ton of options. So that was the installing, setting up these stocks. So they have pretty nice rigid lockup, like we already showed you. This is that super thin skeletonized stock. You can get that additional riser or maybe a rubber pad to screw on there as well. This is metal, aluminum, molded there. It's got a little loop there if you want to hook something on. It's got that QD attachment point, another QD attachment point. A little bit of a better look at these with that little bump up there. That's already getting my cheek. Just perfect for these iron sights. So this is on the BRN 180 Gen 2 upper with that Brownell's made a kind of a custom BRN style lower with the built-in Picatinny rail just right there into the forging. And then here on the SIG Spear LT, we've got skeletonized stock version with a brace on there right now. And yep, it's got a good lockup. It's nice with this buffer tube version. You can put on whatever you want. So like I was saying, it's great for if you need a pistol, since you don't want to put this actual stock on a pistol. But you could put a pistol brace on the tube, and then you could have a folding pistol. So pretty good setup if you maybe were doing a CMMG 22 LR conversion bolt on a short-barreled AR upper, or if you had a short-barreled Spear LT upper and you wanted to run that. So definitely something to consider. But you could throw a regular stock on here as well. All your stock options will fit. It's a regular buffer tube, mil-spec buffer tube sizing. And yeah, so these are meant for airsoft, but they're made out of actual aluminum, made out of actual steel. The lockup is nice and tight. It's not going to just pop out. And I think that these are definitely a great option for real firearms. So these you can go find over at 6mm.com. I just searched folding stock on their website and they had a bunch of options. And I think that they're pretty great. Definitely worth checking out. They'll fit great on any sort of upper that you have that has a pick rail on the back. So definitely worth checking out. Well, thank you for watching the video. I really appreciate it. Please like and subscribe. And I look forward to making the next one. Take care.